Hello viewers, welcome to my channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how to deal with null or missing values in Tableau. For the demo purpose I am using the very famous sample superstore data, and let's start with a business scenario wherein business users want to see the list of all product categories and product subcategories and the number of orders placed against them. Simple enough? No surprises till now, I hope. Now I also have a filter ship mode in my view, and what I want to do is to start filtering the data by ship mode and see what happens. So let me filter and see only the data for delivery truck. When I select delivery truck as a ship mode, I see that my list of categories have shrunk. Now this is intuitive because a delivery truck, maybe it ships only this product categories and subcategories, which is fair enough, but the requirement from business may be to see the list of all subcategories irrespective of the filter criteria. It may be that they will have 0 values, but they still want to see all the dimensions in view when they're doing the analysis. Maybe it will help them in doing some sort of comparative analysis. Now, how do we deal with that? So, to deal with that, Tableau has a very simple solution wherein if you go to analysis, table layout, show empty rows, if you see, it now shows all the product subcategories irrespective of whether their values or not. Now, one thing to be careful about this option is it respects context filters. So if I move my ship mode filter to context, if you see, the list of product subcategories shrunk again. So this is one thing to be careful about when using this specific option. So for now, I'm going to remove this filter from the context and go on with our spin scenario. So in this case, if you see now, we do have the list of product subcategories, but wherever there is no data, I mean this product subcategories did not get shipped by the ship mode delivery truck specifically. Instead of zeros in those product subcategories, we have blanks. Now the business requirement will be to show a 0 in that place and not a blank. Now how do we deal with that? Let's create a calculation for the number of orders. Let me write the name as number of orders, and first I think I'll go ahead and type the expression and then we can talk about it. So here I am calculating the distinct number of orders, and I have wrapped this entire function into another function called zn. And if I search zn, what it does is it returns 0 whenever it finds null in the data. So let me click OK and let me drag it into the view and get rid of this count of orders. So if you see, though I have the number of orders and I am checking for null, it still doesn't replace my blanks with zeros. The reason is, in this case, I don't have a null value in any column in my data. But in this case, the issue is I don't have any rows for this product subcategories and the ship mode delivery truck at all. So it's not a problem of null values, it's a problem of missing data. The data itself is not present, or the complete rows are not present for this different product subcategories. So now let's tweak the number of orders expression a little bit more, and let me introduce the lookup table calculation and let's see if it can help us. I have put in an offset of 0 to look up the value for it for that specific data row, and when I already have it in my view. So if you see, even lookup did not work in this case, and lookup works in a very specific scenario wherein if I suppose introduce the product container into the view. Now if you see, lookup works in certain cases wherein you have those dimensions in your view, may not be, those dimensions may not be linked, but if you have those dimensions in your data, even if they are not linked, lookup can place, instead of nulls, it can place 0 values in it. But for this different product subcategories, these product subcategories are itself not present in the filter data which we have. Whereas if you see, for this product subcategory, chairs and chair mats, and the product container jumbo box, though there's no link or any data row which has the product subcategory as chairs and chair mats and the product container as jumbo box, but these two dimensions still exist in your data rows in some shape and form. So chairs and chair mats is present and is linked to jumbo drum. So there are data rows, 375 of them, where or maybe more as well, but we are taking distinct counts of the order ID. But if you see, chairs and chair mats and jumbo box, though they are not present, this particular dimensions are present in your data set. So always remember that lookup function to kind of replace nulls with zeros works when you have those dimensions present in your data set. May not be, those dimensions may not be linked, but if they are present, lookup works. But in this case it will not work because we do not even have this product subcategories present in our data set. So we need to find another solution. So I think what we have understood till now is, the issue is that we do not have this product subcategories at all in our filtered data set. So I think we need to find a mechanism wherein we have the entire data set, wherein we have all these product categories and subcategories, but we somehow have the data filtered by the ship mode, specifically the number of orders, only that particular value filtered by the ship mode rather than this entire view. So I do not want my ship mode filter to be applied on my entire data set. I want my ship mode filter to only affect my number of orders. Now how to do that? The solution for this is a bit more complicated than you may think, but I think specific business scenarios and their solutions are never simple. So let's see how to do it. Let me create a new sheet here and drag ship mode to my columns. What I'm intending to do here is have this sheet act as a filter to sheet 1 rather than having ship mode as a filter in sheet 1. And the way we are going to do it is through set actions. So what will happen is, once you select this ship modes using this sheet 2, it will be applied as a filter to sheet 1 using a calculated field rather than having it as a filter. So let me do some formatting. So I'll bring ship mode to text and I'll remove the label here, and I'll change this to a square. Just bring it to the middle, and let me increase the size of the square a bit more. Okay, fine for now. Now what I want to do is I want to create a set on my ship mode. So that's simple. Create a set and name it ship mode set. Let me select something. Okay, great. I think I am done with this page. Now what I will do is I'll create a new dashboard and bring my sheet 1 and sheet 2 together, and then look at integrating them and create the filter that we want to. So I'm creating a new dashboard here. Bring my sheet 1 and I'll bring my sheet 2 on top. I do not need this filter because I'm not going to apply filter through this option. And I'll just get rid of this title and get an entire view. Just so get rid of this title here. Okay, fine. I think the product container is fine. I think I'll just remove the product container to make it simple. But then before that, let me set my set action. So I'll go to dashboard actions, add action, change set values, and I will choose sheet 2 here, and the select option in sheet 2 will target this data source, which is fine, and the set will be our ship mode set, and what I want to keep the set values on clearing the selection. Okay, my set action is set. Now the only thing remaining is to have this count of orders calculation to incorporate that set. So let me do that. Let me go to sheet 1 and let me create a new calculation, and I can call it number of orders 2. Doesn't matter for now. And what I'm going to do is I'll check with an if clause. I'll check if my ship mode set is true, and by default it evaluates true and false. Then return me a 1. If it's true, return me a 1, else return me a 0, and I'll end and I'll sum it up. So what it will do, in every row of my data set, wherever it finds the ship mode which has been selected my in the dashboard, it will return me a 1 for those rows for where the ship mode exists. If not, it will return me a 0, and ultimately I'm summing up those rows together. And I think I'll show this with actual data set in a while. So I have applied it. Okay, and I'm going to remove this number of orders calculation which I previously, and I'm going to remove the filter as well. And let me get rid of this product container for now. And if you see, now we are having the 0 values which we wanted in place of blanks for those product subcategories which do not have any data for that particular ship mode. So if I go back to my dashboard, so delivery truck was by default selected. So if I select delivery truck, if you see, it is giving me this value. If I choose express air, if you see, it is updating the value, and same for regular air. I can actually, I just want to go back to the sheet and want to resize this a bit more. And what I can do multi-select as well. So if I just come out of the selection, I can select 2 options, and then it shows me the data for two ship modes, or I can just choose one as well. So it allows for multi-select. Okay, so now let's look at the data and let's see how this set is working when I click on this text. So in a new sheet, I will drag the ship mode to filters, and let me drag actually the order ID, the product category, the product subcategory. I will drag the ship mode as well, and I'll drag the ship mode set as well. Okay, and I think I'll not include this filter because I want to see everything. So if you see here how the calculation works is, for every order ID, wherever it finds that particular ship mode which is in our set, it has this in, which is like it says it is true that this particular ship mode is there, and when it's in, it returns a true and it places a 1 corresponding to it. And that is how, so it will place a 0 wherever it is out, and it places a 1 wherever in the rows where it finds the delivery truck matching to the selection. And that is how and when we sum it, we get only those order IDs which are corresponding to that product category and subcategory and the ship mode. So now if I drag the number of orders, if you see, it gives a 1 only in those rows where the criteria matches, and a 0 for all other rows. And when you sum it up, you actually get the distinct count of orders which matches your filter criteria. So this is a way to take care of null values whenever you have this scenario that you want your data to be filtered, but at the same time you want to return all your dimensions and also want to show zeros for those dimensions which do not have any data for your filter criteria. So I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching.